welcome to another Royal Reviewer channel pop-up chat. I have just popped up, and in fact I've been doing a series of pop-up chats this week. And the pop-up chats are quite important because there hasn't really been any royal engagements today to speak of, and of course the royals have broken up now for Christmas, so no new royal engagements expected until the new year. So people have been asking me in past videos, in the comment section and in the live chat, please do a video on British Christmas traditions. Well, I wanted to do one about the British royal family traditions and how they celebrate Christmas. So forgive me if this turns into more of a kind of educational lecture on the royal family, but I did previously make a video on this exact same topic, and I have notes on my computer. So what I'm actually doing, if you can see below me, is I've got a different computer to the one I'll be in the chat room with. So I've got two computers, and the one has my notes in from the previous video that I made. So do forgive me if I look like I'm looking down at a screen, because I am. I want to find the chat room first with everybody in, because I want to say hello to you all. Here we go. Okay, clicked on the video. How the British royal family celebrate Christmas. Let's put it into live chat mode, and then I can see everybody. So forgive me if I don't say hello to everyone, but hello to everyone who is in the room. Margaret says, oh my goodness, I absolutely love the tiara. I'm wearing it more in the bandeau fashion, low down. And can you recognise the tiara? Let me know. Comment, what is the tiara that I'm wearing? Let me know. Some of you may already have guessed what it is. I don't know. No, I've had no responses to my Royal Christmas cards yet. Okay, let's see if anyone's guessed. Oh, the Cartier Halo tiara. Yes, Sophie, you are correct. It is the replica, the tiara that Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, got married in. Isn't it lovely? It's one of my smallest tiaras, actually, which is why I think I'm able to wear it a bit lower on the head, in a kind of bandeau style. Margaret says, did I see that Meghan and Harry went to the Hub Community Centre? Well, yes, apparently they did. They were spotted. So yes, not a secret visit, a low-key visit. But I don't want to talk too much about anything else in this chat. I kind of want to focus on the topic, so we'll kind of keep to that. But yes, it is Catherine's wedding tiara, the Cartier Halo tiara. I'm just kind of waiting until a few people get in the room before I start, or else people will still be asking questions that I've already spoken about. Anita says, I never hear about your logs. Do people still have them? Yes, I saw about 1 million of them today when I went shopping, which you'll probably see in my weekly vlog. Okay, I'm going to start off, so do excuse me, like I say, if my eyes go down. I am reading from my own notes that I made to do the voiceover of a previous video. So, hello and welcome to another one of my videos. In this video, we will be exploring a royal family Christmas at Sandringham. How interesting. So at this time of year, the immediate members of the royal family retreat to Sandringham, the Queen's Norfolk estate. And we already have evidence of this because the Queen yesterday made her way from Buckingham Palace, London, to Sandringham via train. And of course, Sandringham is in Norfolk. The Queen and Prince Philip usually leave Buckingham Palace, London, and travel by train to King's Lynn Station in Norfolk, not far from Sandringham. Prince Philip this year is travelling separately, we think by car, possibly because maybe getting on and off the train with that really awkward step, and it is awkward to be fair, if you've had a hip replacement, getting on and off that kind of train, not too good. Also, the ride in a car may be a lot more comfortable, perhaps than getting on and off the train. But the Queen, sprightly as ever, was seen hopping on and off the train, so no trouble for her. And I also think that the Queen, literally, she likes to take the train. I think it is one of her traditions. So yes, there's no reason why she couldn't take the car with Philip, but hey, I think she likes the train, so that's okay. Guests, usually closer members of the family, begin to arrive on Christmas Eve. So still a few days to go for some of the extended members of the family. Now, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, Last year, she spent her first Sandringham Christmas with the royals. However, this year is, well, it'll be the same old Sandringham Christmas. They are always the same. But for her, this will be her first year as a member of the British royal family. Last Christmas, she wasn't married. This Christmas, she is married. So, will it feel a bit different for her? I don't know. But these family Christmases are pretty much ran the same year on year on year on year. So it will be the same as what she experienced last year, basically. So following a prompt arrival at the estate, guests change into suitable outfits for tea, always served in the white drawing room. The master of the household will give each family member a timetable and a room plan, so that they know when and where to go over the weekend. Of course, these family gatherings are run like clockwork. There is a timetable, there is a map, and you are expected to change for these different things. It is a very, very different type of Christmas. Here, younger members of the family are invited to help out to put the finishing touches to the tree, which is a Norfolk spruce, rumoured to be approximately 20 feet tall and taken from the 1,000-acre estate. Taking pride of place are Queen Victoria's glass angels. Oh, glass angels. And Prince Philip tops the tree with a gold star. Now, I don't know if he still carries on that tradition. I'd imagine topping a 20-foot tree would be quite difficult with a new hip. So I like to think that maybe that tradition has been passed on to someone else. Could it be Charles? Could it be William? Could it be Harry? I don't know. Could it be one of the Queen's other children? Who knows? But probably that tradition may have changed slightly. But anyway, the tree will have to be topped by somebody. So somebody will be doing it. After enjoying a cup of Earl Grey tea and a scone, trestle tables are set up for the presents. Tape, that's white tape, marks out sections for each member of the family and any member of the royal household who may be on duty that day. Isn't that lovely? Including ladies in waiting. So if there are staff working on the day, they also have sections marked out with the royal family. How lovely is that? I want to work with the Queen at Christmas. The gifts are also believed to be laid out in order of precedence. As we know, the royals privately still observe the order of precedence. So the Queens obviously will be first going down the order of precedence. The royal family are happy not to take themselves too seriously when it comes to exchanging their gifts. And I've spoken about this before, but presents are usually joke offerings. Strictly no cashmere or jewels. Some previous royals have made the mistake. I think Diana fell foul of this. I don't think anyone told her to get joke presents. The royal family love joke presents at Christmas. So Diana fell foul to this tradition when, unaware, she gifted Princess Anne a cashmere sweater. What about a donation? $19.99. Thank you so much. There you go. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. So yes, she felt unaware when she gifted Princess Anne a cashmere sweater, who gave her a novelty item in return. So maybe she felt a little bit out of sorts there. But hey, if you're not told, then you don't know. Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, is rumoured to have given Prince Harry a grow your own girlfriend kit. I think that's quite a common knowledge thing. Whilst Prince Charles apparently has become rather attached to a white leather loo seat, which was given to him by Princess Anne. It has even been reported that Harry once gave his grandmother a bath hat with a rude slogan written on the front, which I'm sure she probably used. And also, I have seen a cushion that says it's good to be Queen, and that was spotted up at Balmoral. So the Queen does use these gifts. Catherine also got it right one year when she made the Queen a homemade family jar of chutney. I want to try Catherine's chutney. It was served the next day at the table for Boxing Day lunch. So the Queen does appreciate these gifts. She does use them. She likes practical gifts. Like I say, I would get the Queen a joke Burger Queen t-shirt. There is a t-shirt on redbubble.com that says Burger Queen, and I would definitely gift the Queen the Burger Queen shirt. Sorry if I'm not reading the comments. This is kind of like a bit of a lecture, like what I said. So do bear with me. I will go back at the end and read comments. Presents aside, the guests retire to their rooms for a second change of clothes. This time for an evening drinks reception and dinner. Like I say, the schedule is fully packed. The Queen is known to be rather partial to a Dubonnet and gin, while both William and Harry are said to prefer a Sandringham cider. They do brew their own cider from the estate's apples. I would love to try that. I'm not a really alcoholic type person, but I would like to try Sandringham cider. Who wouldn't? The family sit down at 8:15 p.m. for a candlelit 3-course dinner. At around 10 p.m, the women move to another room for coffee, whilst the men are offered liqueurs. Christmas preparations for the royal family start with the menus, which are chosen by the Queen. She has complete control. When she arrives at Sandringham, she's given 2 options for each course for every meal over the festive period, except for Christmas Day, when a traditional turkey dinner is served. The only forbidden ingredient at the Queen's request is garlic, perhaps with its antisocial effects in mind. We know that the Queen isn't fond of garlic, probably not necessarily for the taste, but because of, garlic odour on the breath. Even the corgis have individual menus, usually involving a rotation of fresh rabbit, beef or chicken with rice and cabbage. Lucky animals, lucky corgis. But as we know, the Queen, no more corgis, one doggy. So, yes, a little bit stripped down this year, as in, well, apart from previous years, obviously. But yes, this year, a little bit light on the whole dog front. But Meghan may bring her dog. Who knows? Which the Queen has become quite partial to. Often the Queen would make suggestions. If Prince Andrew was coming, she would make sure that they served his favourite mango melba, which is mango ice cream with sliced mango and raspberry sauce, while William's favourite chocolate biscuit cake would feature for afternoon tea. And that is the same chocolate biscuit cake, McVitie's, which he had specially made for his wedding. As one of the cakes. Now, Darren Macready, who is the royal chef at the time, this is where this is kind of a lot of this information has come from, says there was room for some gentle subterfuge on my part, at least when it came to my favourite royal, Princess Diana. How could I ensure her favourite crepe soufflé apricot soufflé, a fluffy apricot jam pancake, would be on the menu? The answer was to suggest it is an option alongside one that he knew the Queen wouldn't like, such as a pan au pruneau, a prune bread set with gelatine. It worked. The princess loved it so much she'd want seconds, but she was terrified to ask for it in front of the other royals, so she'd asked to sneak to the kitchen later where they'd give her some more. So, if you want your favourite recipe served on the menu, put the other option that the Queen doesn't like. Anyway, Darren McGrady continues. There was great anticipation over the Harrods hamper, sent in those days as an appreciation of the royals. It would arrive on Christmas Eve containing wheels of Stilton, a whole foie gras, en cru, and other exotic treats. So the royal family used to, I don't know about now, but they used to receive a Harrods hamper on Christmas Eve. I would imagine that's probably a tradition which has been maintained, I would imagine, if you want their custom at Harrods. One year, Prince Charles had a rival hamper sent, full of organic produce from his Highgrove estate. The Duke of Edinburgh wandered into the kitchen and was poking around, asking questions. It's from the Prince of Wales, Darren McGrady said. It's his organic food. Philip rolled his eyes. Bloody organic, he muttered and stomped off. Oh, my goodness, Philip gets a yellow fan flap for his honesty. Not everyone likes organic, but yes. Charles, I'm sure, sent some of his lovely Duchy originals in a hamper form, which I think is quite funny. I definitely do. The Queen is said to go to bed at around midnight, and no one may leave the party until Her Majesty retires. Christmas Day begins with a full English breakfast before the annual family outing to St Mary Magdalene Church at 11 a.m, where the crowds often gather to catch a glimpse of the royals and wish them a Merry Christmas. Now this is what we see, each year, where all the media and well-wishers are camped outside waiting for the royals to appear, then we definitely get to know who is at Sandringham for Christmas. We will know this year if Doria is there. I know lots of people want her to be there. If she is spending Christmas with the royals, then I imagine she would definitely be on the walk to Sandringham Church. But let's not believe anything until we actually see it with our own two eyes. We are not too far away. I'm sure we can all wait. The sermon itself does not exceed 12, so it doesn't go past 12. At the house, preparations are underway for Christmas dinner, the focal point being the Norfolk turkey. The Queen is also in charge of the seating plan. So the Queen, very much in charge of everything, and I'm sure she likes to sit different people next to other people year to year. The feast commences at 1:15 p.m, followed by the Queen's speech at 3 p.m. The Queen retires at this point to watch her Christmas message alone in a separate room. Well, of course, this year she can watch mine as well when she's done. If she's fed up of her own speech, she can put mine on, because I'm going to record mine tomorrow and upload it so it goes live at 3. Okay, so the royal family will take their places, although seats are unassigned, even for the Queen. So the Queen does do a seating plan, but also sometimes some things may be unassigned. This is kind of from Darren McGrady himself, who obviously worked very, very closely with the Queen on menus during his time as royal chef. At 1 p.m. sharp, the table features elaborately folded starched white napkins. And let me start that again. That didn't make sense. The table features elaborately folded starched white napkins, a silver candelabra with lit candles, wine decanters and red gold crackers at each setting. A wonderful sight. The children eat separately in the nursery at 12:30 p.m. There is no starter today, and the roast turkey traditionally is from the local butcher Scholes in Sandringham, which is the village right next to Sandringham. And that takes centre stage. It's the one day of the year that the head chef is permitted to enter the dining room to carve the bird at the table. So the royals don't carve it, the head chef does. Once he's finished, the Queen will offer him a tot of whiskey and wish him a happy Christmas. The turkey is served with mashed and roast potatoes, chestnut or sage and onion stuffing, cranberry sauce and bread sauce. Vegetables included Brussels sprouts, carrots and roast parsnips. So lots of veg, lots of meat, and it sounds delicious. English dining etiquette is something that any new member of the family would do well to observe. For example, forks should not be held in the right hand, nor should they be put down with the prongs facing upwards. You know if you do that. When not in use. As is the style in the United States. Americanisms will be noted and discouraged. That's what it says here in my notes, my goodness. So Meghan better watch. No, I think things possibly, change and evolve over time. So I'm sure that Meghan will be fine with her Americanisms. But maybe in the past it was discouraged, but I'm sure that the royal family will be more than welcoming and will accept a few Americanisms if they should slip from the tongue. I'm sure that is perfectly fine. The gifts inside the crackers are opened over lunch and are more luxurious than most. But the jokes aren't much better than the average. As we know, cracker jokes aren't terribly good, and I'd imagine the royals like a pretty bad cracker joke. While the table is jolly, it is never ruckus, which means lots of fun, but not too over-the-top loud, as is the British way. The Christmas pudding is doused in fine brandy and decorated with holly, from the gardens, obviously. It is carried into the dining room by the palace steward and lit in front of everyone. Darren McGrady says, we used to start making Christmas puddings in September when we returned to Buckingham Palace from Balmoral. The enormous stainless steel sinks in the kitchen are meticulously scrubbed so they can be used as giant mixing bowls. So there you go. The sinks are used as mixing bowls, but they are very hygienically cleaned. The one presented on Christmas Day is often made the previous year, which allows extra time for it to mature and make it extra tasty. There is a lot of alcohol in it, but perhaps for obvious reasons, no coins or trinkets are added. No one wants to be responsible for a royal choking. Can you imagine? The pudding is served at 2 p.m. with brandy butter and brandy sauce for good measure. Wow, it sounds absolutely delicious. Then there will be a lavish cheese course with bottles of port on the table. The Stilton will be pricked with a fork and soaked with port so it turns purple and mushy. The other royals would drift off to sleep for a while, but not for long, so some of them may take a little nap. In the afternoon, several members of the family are known to take the dogs for a walk, play charades, or watch TV. And of course, I think this is when the Queen likes to play her games, and possibly members of the family can approach her and have a little chat and tell her all about all what's going on and give her a chance to catch up and ask questions. They are required to assemble again at 3 p.m. for the Queen's Christmas message on television, although some took the opportunity to stroll around the grounds, so some do miss it. And again at 4 p.m. for festive tea. There will be a Christmas cake, a chocolate Yule log, mince pies with brandy butter, scones and more sandwiches. Sounds like an awful lot of food. All the royals are remarkably disciplined with food, most simply graze. This is just as well because the dinner buffet is a further feast. Another buffet. Served at 8:15 p.m. and preceded by the requisite aperitif from 7:45 p.m. It is laid out in the dining room. But there is not a sausage roll or a quality street sweet in sight. It's all respectable. Darren remembers that when he was there, it was traditional Old English Old English cuisine. A stuffed boar's head on platters, ox tongue and boiled roasted hams, salmon and game, potatoes tossed in hollandaise sauce, sliced tomatoes or green leaves. Wow, what a feast! A small circular table is laden with chocolates. Wow. From Charbonnel a Walker and the Queen's favourite Bendix Bitter Mince. So there we go. She has Bendix Bitter Mince. After the buffet has been served at 8:30 p.m, the 100-strong staff's duties are over. Oh, I bet they are exhausted. Poor staff. And then it's party time. Woo! I do love a party. Taryn says, we would have a disco in the reception room, although we'd have to be up by 6:30 the next day. After a hearty breakfast on Boxing Day, the men, desperate to get out of the house, go shooting. Now, this is the traditional Boxing Day shoot, which we don't know if Harry is going on or not. It will be interesting to find out at that point, if we do indeed find out. The Queen and the ladies generally join them at a cottage on the estate for a hot lunch of beef or venison stew with mashed potatoes, braised red cabbage and apple pie. They would also fry up slices of Christmas pudding in unsalted butter to snack on. What a snack! The evening meal tends to be game. Venison served with dauphinoise potatoes and carrots. Pudding is usually chocolate based to please the Queen, such as chocolate marquise or chocolate perfection pie, a multi-layered creation made up of cream, meringue and cinnamon. So if you want a royal Christmas, you know what to eat. I think I definitely want one. On Boxing Day, after a kedgeree breakfast, the family head out for the annual pheasant shoot on the estate. The Queen, not adverse to getting her hands a little dirty, is known to help pick up any game caught on the shoot. The ever-practical Queen. As usual, Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, will be the first to leave, travelling to her own private home called Ray Mill in Wiltshire. This is so that she can spend time with her children and grandchildren, which I'm sure everyone can understand. After a few days with her family, Camilla rejoins Charles. Both will travel to their home of Birkhall on the Balmoral estate in Scotland to celebrate Hogmanay/New Year. The Queen will remain at Sandringham until early February. So there you have it. Lecture over. I can close my notes. Whew. That was quite a lot to get through. My goodness. How are we doing for time? 24 minutes of me rambling on. My goodness. Let's see what all of you guys are saying. I'm going to kind of go up a little bit and then kind of come down. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little peeky. A lot of people saying hello, so hello to you, and happy Christmas. By the way, if you've missed any of this, once this video has finished being live, it will go on my channel, so you can catch up at your own leisure. Lugai says, I love Zara. I wish she was a working royal. She is amazing. I think she'd be fabulous, but she has quite an illustrious and financially lucrative career outside of the royal family, so I don't think we'll be seeing that. Definitely not. Lugai is laughing at the Burger King, Burger Queen. Margaret says, I can't remember exactly what the animal was, but I remember that Meghan gave the Queen a giggling, dancing, musical stuffed toy. I can't remember either. Maybe it was a dog. Was it a dog or a moose or something similar to that? I think so. Beverly says, I love how you're wearing your tiara today. More in the bandeau fashion. Stacey says, I enjoy your channel so much. I found you because I searched letters from the Queen. Oh yes, I did. I posted videos of when I received letters from the Queen. Leslie Lane Fenton says, do William and Catherine come up to Sandringham House for those traditional gatherings? They stay at Anma House. That's where they sleep, but they do spend Christmas Day and Boxing Day, unless of course Catherine and William leave to go to the Middletons on Boxing Day. But yes, they sleep in Anma Hall, which is their country house. It makes perfect sense to do that. Michael says, if I was ever invited to Sandringham, I would give Her Majesty and Prince Philip a bottle of Guinness, Murphy's, Bailey's, Jameson's or Tullamore Dew in honour of your Irish roots. That sounds good. I'm sure they would definitely like it. Old Claire Duffy says, hi Elliot, how are you? Give her Guinness as she has drink. She very well would probably drink a Guinness. I'm sure she has enjoyed a Guinness in her time. Leslie says, do the children go to the gift giving on the 24th? Yes, if they are old enough. And can be well behaved enough. N. Sharan says, how nice of YouTube to send a notification 17 minutes after the video started. Blame YouTube. It's nothing to do with me. I am so sorry. Lots of people loving the tiara. H. London says, since Meghan is from the US, will she have to switch to the British eating etiquette and rules? Yes, she will have to do what everyone else does. It's a very structured Christmas. There you go. EAO says, I think Meghan can handle herself at the table. I think so too. H. London says, I love your scarf, so festive and glitzy. It's tinsel. Don't tell Sheridan, but I am wearing tinsel. Matthew says, I love your analysis. Thank you so much. Lugai says, aren't I the cutest thing? I just adore his ways, generous heart. Thank you so much. Bojang says, I wonder how is the weather in the UK? Raining a lot. It's snowing in Sweden. I want the snow. I really do love snow. Yes, I hope you have a white Christmas. I hope we do too. Wendy says, I'm gaining weight just listening. There is a lot of food. And yes, H. London, that is an intense Christmas dinner. Seaside Mom says, I would sleep for 3 days after all that gorging. Michael says, what happens to all the leftover food? I'd imagine some of it is recycled. Maybe some of it is given to staff on the estate. And possibly divided up for local charities as well. I think I have heard things of that nature before. Stephanie says, I'm enjoying this so much. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the lecture style. I didn't know quite how people would get on with a more lectured style. N. Sharan says, good for you. Wish I had a white Christmas. It's so hot in the Caribbean that my face feels like it's melting off. My goodness. I must admit, I would love to be somewhere really cold at Christmas. And H. London says, my goodness, what a structure to follow. Yes, it is indeed. And I've just lost your comment. Where's it gone? What a Christmas schedule to follow. It seems like a very busy time for all the royals. It is indeed. Old says, does it ever snow? And am I going to be at Sandringham for the Royal Walk? No, I will be with my family on Christmas Day. I would love to, but I'm required to be with my family, which of course I want to be as well. So no, I shall be watching like you are. Yes, it sounds so exciting, and definitely nobody will go hungry. Rodney says it was a dog, a musical dog. There you go. Or someone says hamster. I don't know. Oh, hamster. I think it may have been a hamster. Yes, I think it was a talking hamster. And the Queen's dog attacked it. You're right. Dion, you've got a good memory. Pam says, having such a great time listening to me and reading the chat. You just got here, so you will rewatch. Please do. There is a ton of information in my lecture. Do I know the age limit of when the children can sit at the table? I doubt there is an age limit, more of a requirement as to when they can sit and use good manners and not be ruckus, as I said earlier. So I would imagine it varies from child to child. I wouldn't imagine there is a set age. For example, if one of the children is more mature than their age, it doesn't make sense to keep them in the nursery. So I think it's a lot more as and when the child is able to do so. But certainly, I think the children at the moment will be staying in the nursery. Margaret wonders if Charles will continue the formal aspects of Christmas holiday. I think so. He strikes me as being quite traditional to me in that sense. He's quite progressive in other ways, but I do think when it comes to traditions, I think he will uphold. Yes, Dawn, I think they must take two sides. Elasticated waistband required at Sandringham. H. London says, this structured Christmas sounds like it is a lot of stress. Is it fun? I've never been to one, so I can't answer that question. But it's structured, it's formal, but I imagine it is quite fun. Certainly all the games part sounds really, really fun as well. I keep losing my place in all the comments. There we go. I'm back. Oh, Wendy's off to the vet. Well, good luck at the vet. Beverly says, Christmas dinner was very formal for me here in Kansas. People have different types of Christmases. Annette says, do the royal women kill the game shot on Boxing Day, or is that a myth? I think that is a myth. Although we never know exactly what goes on. But I have seen photographs of the Queen necking some game. So yes, I think maybe the older members of the royal family will probably do that. I can't imagine Catherine necking a bird. I certainly can't imagine Meghan necking a bird. So I think that's one that's probably going to be on the way out for future. But I definitely have seen the Queen necking a few birds. There is one photograph of her out there, and she's quite deft at doing that. Ain't that said, you crack me up, and that's a good thing. Merry Christmas to you and all your viewers. Merry Christmas to you guys too, and thank you so much for watching. And yes, it is classed as culling, because of course it is a managed estate, so the Boxing Day shoot does help to keep the whole ecosystem of the estate in tip-top condition, and they do of course eat and use any game that has been caught. Marcilla likes the Santa hat and tiaras that I wore previously. Where do I live? Shropshire, which is kind of near the Welsh border, kind of. H. London's having a party later on, and it's a Scotch tasting event. Mrs. BSN says, is it true they weigh after dinner and the biggest gainer wins? I've not heard of that one. There we go. Maya J says, my favourite single malt is Tamanavulun. I'm not very good with alcoholic drinks, to be quite honest. Okay, so there you go. As promised, a video on royal family traditions. And that particular one involves an awful lot of food. Like I say, it is incredibly structured, but I do think they also have fun as well. I'm going to go now. I've got some more filming to do for my weekly vlog, which will be tomorrow. So it's not, I'm bringing it forward a whole 24 hours. So it will go live roughly 30 minutes after my live chat. So stay around after my live chat tomorrow, my Saturday weekly chat show. And my weekly vlog will premiere, because I like to do the premiere feature, because it's just really nice to involve everyone and to be there when people watch the weekly vlog at the same time. I do hope that you all enjoy the weekly vlogs. I know it's not necessarily about the royal family, but I know some of you like to know about my life and what I'm doing, so that is your chance to kind of, see a little bit more of me It's definitely not royal themed, but if you haven't seen one of my weekly vlogs, there is a playlist where you can go and you can watch all of them since I started doing them. I usually premiere at 12 o'clock midnight on a Sunday, but like I say, I brought it all forward a whole 24 hours, so I hope that you can make it. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Please do. And also, hit that notification bell. I know sometimes it doesn't work. I know sometimes it does work. Don't blame me, blame YouTube. But at least it gives you a chance to be notified. So hit it anyway. So from me, in Shropshire, a very tinsely Shropshire, goodbye.